Welcome back, everyone, to another video of Disney Co. in the Know. Today, we are talking about Animal Kingdom attractions and our advice on how best to utilize FastPass Plus. I am Bruce Beal, owner of 407 and Beyond Vacation Company, and I am joined by Disney Co. in the Know contributors Val Inslee,
Hello.
Evan Zimmerman,
Hi.
and Elizabeth Beal.
Hello.
It is good to have you all back on the show. But before we begin, I want to say that this video is sponsored by 407 and Beyond Vacation Company, Disney and Universal experts who help plan your family's perfect vacation. So all you have to do is show up, have fun, and create family memories. As always, our services are of no cost to you. Visit us on the web at www.407vacations.com. And to stay in the know, visit our blog page at www.407vacations.com/in-the-know. All right, everyone, before we get into Animal Kingdom specific attractions, let's give watchers, viewers, and listeners a little FastPass Plus basics. So if you already are a FastPass Plus Pro, we suggest skipping ahead just a minute or two. But if not, here are some FastPass Plus basics. So you can use the My Disney Experience app on your mobile device to make FastPass selections. Of course, if you book with us, our travel planners can help you make those FastPasses. FastPasses are always free. There's no additional charge to have them. Children under the age of 3 do not need a FastPass. You can add friends and family and link your FastPass selections together so you can all be on the rides together. FastPasses are not just for rides, but you can also use them for character meet and greets and shows as well. You can select FastPass selections up to 30 days in advance of your vacation. But if you are staying at Walt Disney World property, you can make your selections up to 60 days in advance for the entire length of your stay. You get 3 initial FastPasses per day, but after you use your 3 FastPasses, you can use the app to make 1 additional FastPass, and so on and so on. And you have a 1-hour window in which to make a selection. So if you use a FastPass for Flight of Passage at 10 a.m., you have until 11 a.m. to use it. And you cannot use or have another FastPass in that 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. window. So guys, I want to know about your specific FastPass Plus strategy. And Evan, let's start with you. What do you have? What's your strategy when getting FastPasses?
Well, when I do Disney, I like to do as much as possible in the day as the goal. So how I like to do FastPasses per day is always find the best rides that you can in a really tight amount of space that you're able to do. I mean, you can't book more than 1 ride every hour. So I try to space it out every hour and in the morning. So that way you can hit those 3 rides, get them done. And as soon as you scan into the last ride of those 3, you can start making the FastPasses for your next ride. So you can just keep going all day long, finding the next available ride and the next available FastPass. It just helps you maximize your day, I think. It's fast and furious, which is my favorite way of doing Disney, but not everybody's preference, but that's what I like.
Very good. Val, what about you? You have a totally different strategy. So what's your strategy with FastPasses?
I do. I sort of go into the park knowing what rides I would like to get on. So I try to always do my favorite rides and not so much try to do as many as possible, but make sure I get the ones that I absolutely want. And then I just sort of fill in between whatever I want. But I'm not trying to get on 7 rides. I'm trying to do like the 3 that are the best for me and the ones that I like the most or the character greet that I want the most. And then that's how I utilize my park time.
Yeah. Evan, did you mention about getting them early on in the morning?
I mean, yes.
Talk to that.
If you start your entire day at Disney, I like to do them in the morning because you can just complete it and you have the rest of your entire day to just kind of keep making more and more FastPasses. But if you are doing something where you only are going to come in for half a day and you're going to go to Disney Springs or something in the morning, that's totally fine too. But then in the afternoon, you can do your 3 FastPasses and move on. However, the earlier in the day you finish your FastPasses, the more availability you'll find for probably the better rides. You'll get some better options than you will at the very end of the day when everybody has been looking for more FastPasses.
Yeah, Elizabeth, where do you fall on this spectrum of quantity versus quality in FastPasses?
Definitely with Evan, fast and furious. And one of my favorite tips too is, especially if it's, a group of people that are willing to kind of break up, one of my tips is, after you use those 3 initially and say, I'm wanting to get onto a high commodity ride again, like Flight of Passage, I'll just search just a single person to try to get that fast pass. And then if I can get a single fast pass, then I go back in and try to do another single fast pass. So there's definitely,
Wow.
I find that sometimes they will find single fast passes easier than trying to find for my entire group, 4 more people. So I just find it to be a little bit easier to find single. And then sometimes that means there's like a 5-minute difference, maybe 10 minutes, but at least we're getting on the ride.
That's a really good tip, and we've definitely done that in the past. So as long as you can find individual fast passes for the number of people that you're looking for within an hour time frame, that actually works out really well. And we have found that it's easier to make that one fast pass per person and not like in a large group. So if you have a group of 6 family members looking to get on a ride, you could definitely split it up 3 and 3 and have a better chance of getting them. Anyone have any thoughts on that before we move to specific attractions at Animal Kingdom?
I also had another. You first, Val. No, you first.
I was going to reiterate what Elizabeth said, because I've done a lot of trips by myself since I do live in driving distance and all of my friends live in flight distance.
Bragging.
So it is a lot easier. I almost always get exactly what I want at the parks when I am by myself. And then another thing that is good to know, and by all means, I'm not saying that you should do this all the time, and this is kind of an abuse of the magic, but if you were to tag along with friends and they made their trip, I've definitely joined my friends at a last minute trip. Like, it was a last minute idea that I come, and they already have these great fast passes. If you ask the cast member nicely, there's a great chance that they'll let you on with your friends. It is not, by all means, do not do this all the time. It is, but if you have a chance to join a last minute trip and would like to get on a fast pass with people and you can't, there's a good chance, if you ask nicely and be kind, that they might extend the magic a little bit for you and let you get on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good tip. Does anyone here have any experience with that? Evan?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Val was like,
Evan
it's
is
my birthday
lucky.
trip. Can I? Oh, you're right. I did. Well, my magic was a little bit different. We took a trip together and we slept in, which was a no for our trip, but we did it because we were exhausted. And so we missed our fast pass for Space Mountain by 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours. Maybe it was pushing 3. And we walked up and I did a halfway between, oh, we forgot, or really? It's not right now? And they let us on. So the magic was alive and well that day.
I definitely just do want to clarify that 407 and Beyond Vacation Company and Disney Co. in the Know is not endorsing this idea. It's just happened in the past. So, but always be nice. It always pays off. So
yeah, smile.
Exactly. We like cast members to be friendly and smile with us. So I'm sure they enjoy it when we reciprocate with the same. So let's move on to specific attractions at the Animal Kingdom. Just real quick, a quick vote. Is Animal Kingdom anyone's favorite park?
This is my favorite park. Animal Kingdom is my favorite park.
That's why I asked the question. I knew that was your favorite. Val, Evan, Elizabeth, what about you? Where does Animal Kingdom rank for you? That's kind of a tough question before we get into fast pass discussion, but
it's I would say a second or third place. Probably third place.
Okay.
It's probably second for me. Yeah.
Very good.
I definitely think it's increased since bringing in Pandora.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, I have a list of attractions here and shows at the Animal Kingdom in which you can get a fast pass for, if they are available. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off by, so you guys are going to be tasked with telling listeners and viewers whether or not that the attraction or show is worth trying to get a fast pass. Is the queue, or is the attraction worth just standing in the queue, for a period of time, or should you just all out skip the attraction altogether? So This will help viewers and listeners. Yes, Evan, anytime you say skip, you got to do the X. So, this will help viewers and listeners kind of determine what may be best for them when it comes to FastPass selections. But keep in mind that neither of us are going to the parks with children. So we will keep that in mind with our answers, but also know our perspective giving our answers. So I will start off with, let's see. Let's start off with what I think will probably be an easy one. Let's start off with it's tough to be a bug. Evan, is this a FastPass, a queue, or skip?
This is a queue because there's never a queue. Maybe sometimes there is, but it's really fast moving. And the queue is amazing because all the beautiful animals carved into the Tree of Life are so fantastic to look at. And if you just go through the quick FastPass line, you're going to miss most of it. So even if you have to wait 10 or 15 minutes, it's worth it just to stand there and look at the amazing structure around you.
Evan, I'm glad that you mentioned that specifically because this is an absolute queue for me as well, because there are not too many queues that look like this. And being able to be around the Tree of Life and look at all the different animals carved into the tree, overall, this is just an absolutely a great queue. So Val, Elizabeth, what do you have for this one?
This is a queue for me as well. Don't waste a FastPass on this because it literally is never longer than 15 minutes. So, and then my favorite part of this queue is actually when you get inside the Tree of Life and they have a lot of take on musical theater posters and they're all bug oriented. So, yeah, it's cute.
It's a definite skip for me. I loathe this ride and attraction so much. Nightmares as a child with the spiders coming down and being shuffled out by my father as I am like bawling my eyes out. I still can't sit on the edge of the seat because of the bees or the wasp or whatever when they sting you on the back of your legs. I literally sit on the edge of my seat the entire time with my legs like up in a fetal position. I do not like this ride.
Yeah. So on that note, no. Well, that'll do it for our show today, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
But if you have little kids, this ride can be. Oh, sorry. If you have little kids, this ride can be terrifying.
So yes, but I also don't want listeners to be deterred from going on this attraction because it is a cute attraction. There are some scarier moments. It does get dark, but I don't want people to be deterred from it's tough to be a bug because I do think it's classic. Solid. Yeah.
You can experience that queue on the little walkways like around the tree, so you might miss some of those animals, but
Okay. All right. Well, we know how Elizabeth feels about it's tough to be a bug. So let's move on over to something that I think we can all agree on. And that is close by over in Pandora. So let's start off with an easy one in Pandora. Flight of Passage, FastPass, queue, or skip it. Elizabeth?
FastPass, for sure. The queue we waited on opening weekend. It was absolutely amazing. The detail to the like what they brought in from the movie, like it was absolutely incredible to see. However, it's a very long wait, so definitely would recommend getting a FastPass so that you can get onto the attraction.
Sorry, I was muted there. Val, what about you?
Yes, this is a FastPass. You will waste half of your day standing in this line trying to get on it. It is never less than a 2-hour wait, like minimum on this ride every single day. This is also one of those ones if you're trying to rope drop it, which is a fancy term for saying if you're trying to get there before the park opens and run to a specific section, it's one of those things that instantly pops up to 2 hours. So this is an absolute fast pass it or waste a lot of your day in Animal Kingdom.
That's true. Evan, what do you have to say?
I agree. Fast pass it for sure because it's one of those ones that everybody wants. So you have to just do it because it'll not be there if you don't get it. I've never been in this queue line. I've never seen it. I've only ever fast passed this ride. So one day I would like to queue it when it's not 3 hours of my life. but yeah, because you miss so many of the cool things. Like I've never seen the iconic, guy in the tank, because you just skip all of that. But it's definitely FastPass.
Yeah, it's definitely a fast pass when it comes down to the amount of time that it takes to go through the queue. Because as Val said, it's always a 2-hour wait. But if it is less than 60 minutes, I do think the queue for this attraction is a large part of the experience and the immersiveness. This queue is one of the best queues that they've made on Disney property. And maybe in Orlando. And so if you do get the opportunity where for whatever reason Flight of Passage is like a half-hour wait, I would say go ahead and take the half hour and explore the queue because it is really well done. So, all right, let's stay in Pandora and let's talk Navi River Journey. This always seems to be an attraction that is a little bit divisive. People love it, they hate it. I've never really known anyone who just went, nah, Navi River Journey. So let's talk about whether or not it is worth a fast pass. And Val, I know you have strong feelings about Navi River Journey, so we are starting with you. What do you have to say?
Skip it. It's not worth your time. It's pretty short. The animatronic in there is like state of the art, which is really neat. But when she needs to be serviced, it's like a scrim. So some people feel like they get cheated if they don't get the full, if she's not in the ride, but they do a really good job of making it look like she's in the ride. I think a lot of people fast pass this because they couldn't get fast passes to Flight of Passage, thinking at least it's something in Pandora. And honestly, it is not worth your time at all.
Oh man.
Go elsewhere.
That is brutal. Evan, what's your response to that, Evan?
Well, I enjoy it. I mean, I think it's nice. It's a boat ride, nothing really happens. And I agree with Val. One time I went on the ride and she was out for servicing, so I had to scrim. And so it was just a little bit of like, that's like the climax of the show. And there was no climax. And so I was like, okay, but it's really beautiful. If you're in like Pandora at night and like you're there right before the park closes and the line is super short, do it. It's great. But don't stand around all day long waiting for it. I wouldn't fast pass it either. So I guess I'm gonna say queue it.
Okay. All right. I think that's sound advice. Elizabeth, what about you?
I'm kind of with Evan. I'm like in between. I don't know. I wouldn't fast pass it, but I definitely wouldn't queue it. But if it's your like first time, I think if it's like your first time there, probably queue it then, but don't use a fast pass on it because it is a beautiful ride. And it's really cool how they integrate both like classic Disney water ride with technology. So I love that aspect of it. But it's definitely not worth a fast pass. So queue it, I guess.
All right. So it sounds like the consensus is queue or skip. We have a couple of queues. I would say queue as well. I do think that the environment is immersive enough where it is worth getting on the attraction, but the queue isn't special. It is just switchbacks. And if you're there for an extended period of time, it can feel like forever. So the attraction does feel short. And there is no real story. You are just immersed in Pandora and checking out the sights and the environment. So I agree with these guys that this one is definitely a queue, but only if the queue is short. So let's move over to Dinoland USA, and let's talk Dinosaur. Evan, you getting a fast pass for Dinosaur?
Absolutely. I love Dinosaur. That's it. It's great. I'd like to do it. It's just, if it's there, I'll take it. It's always there, so grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Val, what about you?
I love this ride. This is where I like to start my days at Animal Kingdom, is straight up to Dino Land. So this is a Disney must-do, must-see, must for me personally.
Elizabeth, is it a must-do for you as well?
It's a must-do, and it is a fast pass. The ride, though, I feel like the attention, because of Pandora and some of the other attractions that are in there now, it's not as like the popular ride anymore. So I feel like a lot of times you can get in under 30 minutes, maybe less. The queue's nothing to write home about. I find it to be extremely boring. I know it's supposed to be like a museum and that sort of thing. The beginning video is really funny, so don't just like walk through that. Sometimes they will have you walk through, but it's pretty funny. But definitely fast pass it. Use them.
What's the
Yeah,
worst that can
it's
happen?
one of the best rides. Yeah, it's
It-
really fun.
All right, the consensus is definitely fast pass it unless the wait time is low enough. Is there an attraction with as many good quotes from it as Dinosaur? I mean, I can think of at least 4 or 5. So,
Yeah.
Country Bears really gets up there. With
oh,
this.
that's a good one. Country Bear, yeah.
Also, I
Every
will
guy-
say, I'm so sorry. Last time I was there, it was raining, and this ride was crazy. Like, everyone flocked in because it was raining. So this is a super, like, because it's all indoor. So this one is a, like, if it's monsooning, this is not where you need to go because everyone else is already there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very good. All right. So Fast Pass Dinosaur. All right, guys. Staying in Dinoland USA, but just on the outskirts of what is considered Dinoland is Finding Nemo the musical. I know that is some of our
Val.
favorites. I know it's Val's favorite. I know Evan likes it. So let's save them for last on this one. Elizabeth, are you going to use a Fast Pass on a show? And if so,
Yeah.
are you using it on Finding Nemo the musical? Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, for sure. I absolutely love this show, and the last 2 times I've been there, I have not been able to see Finding Nemo the musical, and I feel like Disney's not complete after not seeing it. I mean, Evan and Val can speak to this more than I can. I'm just like, I love musicals / productions, everything. But I think it's so well done, personally, and it's so immersive, and it's just an incredible show that Disney puts on. So I would definitely fast pass it.
All right, Evan, Val, do you agree?
I'm not gonna fast pass it. I love it, but you don't need to fast pass it. I don't think because you can get in. There's like 6 shows a day, I think, and so you can like work it around your fast pass and see which show you can fit. I mean, make sure you work it around because I think the last show's at like 4 or like 3:50 or some crazy time. But it's like so good. It's so good. It's by the writers who did Frozen, if you didn't know that. And so the music is fantastic. The production quality is fantastic. I cry every single time. So definitely do it, but you can queue it because it's not that long of a line. You'll know when there's a show because there's a mob of people outside.
The only thing to that, Evan, why I say fast pass it though, is because like, I feel like if I don't, like I'm a very schedule-y person. So if I don't schedule it in, I am going to end up skipping it because I'll be like, oh, there's a fast pass for this, or oh, I'm going to go do this. So that's the only reason I would fast pass it. So I remember to see it.
That makes sense.
It's high on my list of priorities at Animal Kingdom. So I'm always like, okay, I've got a fast pass for this and a fast pass for this, and I've got enough time here. So I always squeeze it in, and it's incredible. And Evan, the first time I saw it, of course, was with Evan, and he sat down next to me and said, "You're gonna love this." And that was the like most underestimated statement of the universe. I love it. I listen to it on iTunes. It's fantastic. I basically could perform it for you now if you give me
So Val, we'd love to see that. If you want to sing us a quick tune.
No, good. No, but it's fantastic. Please, like, don't miss this one. This one is beautiful. The songs are amazing. The character development's lovely. Like, and they did such a good job with this. Also, if it's hot, it's 45 minutes in air conditioning.
That is so true. So, guys, I want to ask you just a yes or a no answer. Okay, is Finding Nemo the musical the best show on property? Val?
Yes.
Evan?
Yes.
Elizabeth?
Yes.
All right, very good. Oh, who are we joined by, Evan?
This is Agnes, and she's very excited. She was jealous of the camera time.
So she is a big Disney fan, right?
She is a big Disney fan.
And Aristocats is her favorite?
Yes, but you know what really grinds my gears is Disney has so many dog bowls and dog collars, but nothing for cats. So if anybody from Disney is listening.
Make some cat bowls, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, good. All right, let's go to Asia and Africa where we have some more thrill attractions. So let's talk Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. Right, this is a very intense roller coaster. So Val, are you getting a fast pass? You gonna wait in the queue, or are you skipping this one?
I'm fast passing this, and then after I'm fast passing it, I'm getting off and getting in single rider. So this is one my record is 8 times in a day for this one. I love this ride very much. It's an amazing attraction. I think they've done everything for it. Now I have been through the queue and it's really impressive and really cool. But again, I'm someone who doesn't really want to waste all of my time in queues. So if it's too long of a line, I do stick to the single rider or FastPass.
Can anyone else beat Val's record of 8 times in a row consecutively? No?
I don't know. That's pretty good. That would make me sick, I think.
I love it.
Evan, what about you? You getting a fast pass for this one, or you're gonna wait in the queue?
Definitely a fast pass, and then doing the exact same thing Val said. It would get off of it right away and go into the single rider. Because if you get there early enough, the single rider line's super short, and you get on pretty fast. Like, I don't think we've ever waited very long in the single rider line. Much shorter than the actual queue line is, and it's hidden. Nobody really knows it's there, which is great for us. And now for all the people listening to this. So yeah, definitely. Oh, and also if you do it, go at night. Try to time it to go at night or during the water show, because it's so pretty when you can see like the fountains and the colors. It's really great. And also, when we went last time with Val, we ran across the park to get on this the minute the park closed, and we did it, and it was so beautiful. And then on the way out, all the vendors had extra pretzels, and they were handing them out for free. So
that is so Evan luck.
So Disney magic for you.
That was Disney magic. That wasn't Evan luck.
Not Evan luck. Okay.
Yeah, I think they offered him to Val, but I was the one who screamed yes.
I'm out of pretzel.
That's funny. Elizabeth, what about you? What are your feelings on this attraction?
I do the exact same thing, fast pass it, and then get into single rider line. However, the queue is so immersive. I just would have loved to been on like the buying trip to buy all the expedition like stuff, because the amount of stuff that they had to buy like relate it to Mount Everest and everything. I mean, it's just like incredible. It kind of blows your mind if you think about it, because they have like the walls completely lined with pictures, and they go into immense detail about this like Yeti, and like the whole story of the Yeti is in that queue, which is really cool that you miss completely if you go in the fast pass line. So you're not maybe if it's your first time there, you might not be as familiar with like, why is this giant Yeti, chasing us through this roller coaster? So it really explains the story of the roller coaster really well, which again, just goes to my point that I make all the time. One of the reasons why I love Disney details. So
yeah, that's a really good point. And if you do get in the fast pass line or the single rider line, you do miss out on all of the animal scat exhibits inside the queue. So if you want to see fake animal scat, that you got to be in the queue. So I'm going to give you guys 2 attractions and shows here back to back, and for time's sake, let's just give a fast pass, queue, or skip answer. So we'll just go around the table, starting with Evan. Cali River Rapids.
Queue.
Val?
Queue or skip?
Okay, good. Elizabeth?
Skip.
Yeah, it's a skip for me unless you really want to get drenched, because
some people get soaked.
Yes. Yeah, it's as if you've gone swimming. So if that's not for you, it's a total skip. So what about Rivers of Light, the nighttime show? We are 1. Evan?
Skip.
Val?
Skip.
Elizabeth?
Oh, I'd queue it. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, it's fun. It's like kind of nice and chill at the end of a long day, especially if you're there in the summer. Like, it's so hot and you just kind of like want to relax with like a margarita or something at the end of the day. And you can do that like in that show and just appreciate the culture of Animal Kingdom. So
all right, that's a good point. Yeah, I would say that if you're in Animal Kingdom at night and you've been to Pandora and you're looking for a show just to relax and in the evening, I do think Rivers of Light is that show. It's probably one of the not sought after fast passes or nighttime shows at Disney parks, but if you just want to chill and relax and not be too blown away or not have any fireworks, then this show is not too bad. All right, let's really talk about two big attractions or shows to wrap up this show. Another show over in Africa, Festival of the Lion King. A lot of people prefer this over Finding Nemo the Musical. We know we don't, because we just deemed Finding Nemo the Musical the best show on property. But let's talk about the Lion King, or Festival of the Lion King. So Elizabeth, is this worth a fast pass, or is this a wait in the queue type of attraction?
Actually, I don't think I've ever fast passed it. I've always waited in the queue for it. And so it's definitely a show that I love to see. It's so good. The actors in it are actually absolutely brilliant, and it's just a really fun take on Lion King. I think something that you're not expecting Lion King to bring to Animal Kingdom. So either way, I'm sure FastPass would be great to, have better seating options, but the queue is just fine too. So,
Evan, do you agree?
I agree. The queue is a good way to do it, but it's a really great show. I enjoy it, and the monkeys are great.
That is true. Val, you on board with queuing it?
Yeah, I queue it. If you go right as the show is starting, then you'll get in queue for the next show. So it's going to be about a 35-minute wait-ish, maybe a little longer. And then you're guaranteed to get in, just because they just shoved everyone in the theater. So it's a good time to go.
That's a good point. Because of it, show, it is in segments. So you will, stand still in this queue for 30, 35 minutes before the next show is let in. Okay, last attraction on our list for today. One of my favorites on property, let alone in Animal Kingdom, is Kilimanjaro Safari. And I will say, for me, this is an absolute fast pass, because one, the line can get a little bit lengthy, and two, this attraction is different in all times of the day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or now that's available at nighttime. The animals are, always interacting with the safari vehicles differently. Sometimes they're active or sleeping or eating and up by the truck. So for me, this is not only a fast pass, but also one of my favorite attractions. So Evan, what about you? Kilimanjaro Safari?
For sure. Definitely fast pass it. And I always try to fast pass it as the first thing of the day, because the animals are awake and they just are eating. So they're walking around a lot, but definitely fast pass it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely fast pass it as well. Like Bruce said, you can catch animals doing different things throughout the day, but like Evan said, I like doing it in the morning because they are more interactive, I feel, in the morning. But the line can get so long, and it is like a truck pulls up and it puts people on. So I feel like the line can be a little slow moving at times. And it's very compacted. It's not a very interactive queue. So definitely fast pass.
All right, Val?
This is a fast pass for me as well. Also, side note, if I could have any Disney job, it would be being a driver of a safari truck. I love this attraction. It is so entertaining. Yeah, literally. So this is really fun. Again, I've been on it all times of day. I kind of like dusk a lot because the animals just get fed dinner again. And so like they might not be as active as they were in the morning, but the lions are a little bit more with it because 9 times out of 10, you're going to catch them all sleeping. So, I don't think I've had so many interesting and unique experiences riding this ride. Every time is different. This is an absolute, you have to try it. It's so fun. But the line is terrible to queue.
Mm-hmm.
Fast.
All right. Very good. Well, I think we hit most everything. Evan, Val, Elizabeth, is there anything that you want to add that we may not have discussed?
Oh, if you're going to go do the safari in the morning, that's amazing, because right before you get to the safari is the best, my personal favorite Disney breakfast. It's not a sit-down restaurant, is a little just quick service place right before the entrance of safari. And they have amazing breakfast sandwiches and giant Mickey cinnamon rolls. And it's a Disney must-have, must-do.
Val, Elizabeth, anything you want to add before we wrap up?
This park has a lot of behind-the-scenes extra magic things that you can do for an additional cost, different tickets. I did Caring for Giants. I'm a huge elephant fan. So I did a Caring for Giants, and it was only like $35, and then you get a pass holder discount on top of it. You get to go up actually backstage and see the elephants where they live. You can interact with people. Someone from Africa comes and tells you facts about elephants, as well as the keeper kind of tells you what's up with that. They have them for a lot. There's like trekking through some of the African segments. There's caring for rhinos. So there's a lot of extra programs, especially if you or your children are really interested in animal care. There's a lot to do extra in this park that you can get little extra experiences, and they're really not that expensive at a lot of them. So worth looking into if you're a super animal fan, not just elephant.
If you're
Super elephant fan.
You're super.
I know this is FastPasses, but I think Animal Kingdom has some of the best food on property. Like Evan said, I'm always looking out for the food options. And from Pandora over to what is it called? The market over
barbecue.
there. Oh, Flame Tree Barbecue is very good.
Harambe
Harambe Marketplace. Ask for the carrots. They're really, it's all very, very good food options there. So even if you are waiting in queues, at least you have good food options to get you through.
All right. Yeah, I think those are all good tips for our viewers and listeners. And I think there is a good spot to end this show. So make sure to follow us on Facebook at 407 and Beyond Vacation Company and join in on the discussion on our Facebook group, Disney Co. in the Know. And for more, check us out on YouTube at Disney Co. in the Know and at www.407vacations.com/in-the-know. So Val. Perfect. Evan, I was just going to ask you if you had any Mickey voices to close us out. So
there you go. It scared the cat.
Evan, Val, Elizabeth, thank you so much for doing this show about FastPasses at Animal Kingdom. And I look forward to our discussions on the remaining parks. So guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.